Benich, third in career.
It is senior day here at the Rosemont Horizon for DePaul University. And a memorable day for co-captains Stanley Lundy and Terrence Green. And here is Stanley Lundy, accompanied by his Aunt Rose Jemison, who raised him in Los Angeles, California, and will watch him play in college for the first time today. And just a moment ago, Terrence Green, one of 9 children, accompanied by his parents. His father will watch him play for the first time since Terrence was in high school. His dad, John, wheelchair assisted ever since he suffered a stroke some 4 years ago. And Terrence had to pull together 95 tickets for family and friends to make it here from Flint, Michigan. So some nice moments prior to the start of this, the second meeting of the season between Notre Dame and DePaul. 79th meeting overall. Notre Dame leads 45-33, but DePaul has won 10 out of the last 15, and Notre Dame won in South Bend earlier this season, just a couple of weeks back. LaFonso Ellis, Jameer Jackson, Keith Robinson up front. Elmer Bennett, 6'1" freshman from Houston, replacing the injured Joe Frederick, who had been on a tear as of late. And the point guard is sophomore Tim Singleton, a very young club that has done extremely well. They come off a win over Marquette Wednesday night. They've won their last 2 on the road, winning at Marquette and at Butler. And for Joey Meyer and DePaul, Stanley Lundy and Curtis Price up front. The center is 7'1" junior James Hamby. And in the backcourt, Chucky Murphy, a freshman from Westchester, Illinois, along with the senior from Flint, Michigan, Terrence Green. In that earlier meeting, DePaul shot only 43% against the Irish. Joey Meyer felt they gave up too many easy buckets and had a weak rebounding first half. But a major factor here today, the absence of Joe Frederick, who sprained his ankle in practice yesterday. He is one of the Notre Dame leaders. Strong move by Lundy to draw the foul.
Well, you hate to play off the storyline, but right away Lundy went for the hole, and he really didn't have control of that basketball. It was an excellent entry pass, and he just sort of went to the glass, and the ball just kind of floated out of his hand. It really can be a two-edged sword when you get that jacked up. What a player he is, quick to the rim. Only 4-foot range. There we go again. That was definitely an adrenaline shot.
He is only a 48% free throw shooter. And DePaul, a very bad free throw shooting team at 63%. Digger Phelps has been complaining about Notre Dame. They're at 68. They're on fire compared to the Blue Demons.
Digger's teams usually do 2 things well: rebound and shoot free throws. And this young team, no seniors, has not done as well as his teams in the past at the free throw line, but they can still board.
Here's Ellis, way off, rebounded by Price. Green on the penetration. And back come the Irish. Elmer Bennett had some difficulty at the start of the season, but he has come on, and at times off the bench has provided instant offense. Notre Dame with a 2-0 lead. Hamby down low. Hamby off the fake. And the rebound by Keith Robinson. This is Singleton handling. LaFonso Ellis. And DePaul is on it. Chucky Murphy. Lundy trying to throw it off the lead pass. Murphy.
Both teams very tight, very tight. The pressure's all on DePaul. It's assumed that the Irish have their NCAA bid. DePaul's still on the bubble. They'll tell you that they're confident, but this is what I say.
Here's Green. Rebounded by Hamby, who gets it back out. Murphy off the fake. And Ellis able to counter the rebound.
Hamby, an interesting starter. He's starting on the basis of his last outing, which was 11 points and 7 boards against Marquette. And with this 4-center rotation that Joey Meyer uses, he feels he has 20 fouls, and he goes with the guy that's done the best lately. Today, it's Hamby.
Ellis with a nice fake and called for the charge. Offensive foul. The officials today out of the Missouri Valley Conference, Dan Chrisman, Rich Highcourse, Dan Taylor. You saw Digger Phelps react. He's been a bit more on the low-key side, though, this season.
Indeed. LaFonso Ellis, who's missed 2 jumpers, decides to take it down inside. Excellent position defense, that time by DePaul. There's the mellow Digger. He's got a young, talented team, and he really has laid back and let them make a few mistakes this year.
Ellis committing that foul, his second. Green, strip, and it will be DePaul ball. I asked Digger why is he more laid back this season. He said, well, first of all, he does not prowl the sidelines the way he did because of a bad back, but he said this is the best young talent he has ever had at South Bend, so he is pulling back. Here's Brundy, throwing blast. The game is tied at 2. We're 3 minutes in.
DePaul is not a good half-court team. Notre Dame isn't great at it, but they're better.
Here's Green off the steal. Notre Dame getting back. Green is stopped. Forced the issue. Recovered, though, by Murphy.
Murphy's an interesting story, Mark. He was a walk-on, just a freshman from Westchester, Illinois. He's actually the slowest, smallest, weakest guy on the squad, but he's the only guy out there with a point guard mentality. He will take care of the ball.
And rebounded by Keith Tower, who replaced LaFonso Ellis. Singleton with a nice feed. Elmer Bennett with a second field goal, and Notre Dame with a 4-2 lead. The Irish at 20-7. They have won 8 of the last 11. They have been shooting well recently. 51% for the season. A strong rebounding team, among the top in the nation. That flaw, though, as mentioned earlier, in the foul shooting department, and it has hurt down the stretch. Al Murphy regrouping. This is Green. Feeding Brundy, and that's a goaltend. Basket counts, and the game is tied at 4.
As you watch Terrence Green, remember the point I made. He is not a great basketball player. He's a great athlete, a heck of a football player. He goes for the iron.
Timeout taken with 4 minutes gone by in this first half.
Now, drive the excitement of Pontiac Grand Prix and get a mega value. Get $1,000 cash back direct from Pontiac, or GMAC financing as low as 4.9%. And if you're a qualified first-time buyer, another $600 cash back. That's up to $1,600 cash back, or 4.9% GMAC financing. See your local Pontiac dealer for details.
We build excitement.
In the village of Upper Nyack, the firemen fight fires with ladders and hoses. And a Murata fax machine. It's used to receive floor plans and detailed drawings of buildings so they can plan how to attack the fire before they get to the fire. Murata fax machines.
I'm State Farm Agent Richard Clay. I take care of the Barber family's insurance, their car, their home, and life insurance too. Jill and Sherman like the way State Farm handles all the details on their auto and home coverage. And when it comes to life insurance, they like the way I listen to help them make sure that as their family grows, so does their State Farm protection.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It is here that the true mettle of a man is tested. For a few days in March, the Players' Championship on NBC Sports.
Welcome back to the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago as we sweep around the scoreboard. Well, Indiana's clinched the Big Ten, but having all kinds of problems this afternoon with Iowa in the second half. Florida over Tennessee in the SEC semifinal.
Tennessee with a home court advantage at the SEC.
And here at the Rosemont, Notre Dame in possession, and DePaul tied at 4 with 4 minutes gone by as Jameer Jackson handles. This is Tim Singleton, a sophomore from New Orleans. He's taken over the point guard position from a fellow by the name of David Rivers, and he's done a solid job.
His dribble penetration really hurt DePaul at the game at South Bend. He just took the ball down inside, broke down the Blue Demon defense at will, and then fed the 2 postmen who had a field day like that.
Robinson did not hit, though. Rebounded by Curtis Price. And a foul call. Foul against the Irish.
Number 5.
Keith Tower called on the foul. Well, Maryland, after pulling off the upset yesterday, trounced by North Carolina 38-14 at halftime. Big East semifinals, Syracuse by 1 over Seton Hall. Memphis State, Louisville tied in the Metro Conference semi. Iowa State leading Oklahoma coming off the scare last night.
And with Mookie back, though, not to worry.
Grundy. So Grundy with his 3rd field goal, and DePaul leads by the score of 6-4.
Grundy is so quick to the rim. He only has 4-foot range, but he absolutely explodes around the basket. 19 points and 10 rebounds. Just don't tell the story on this guy.
Terrific putback man.
He had 10 offensive rebounds for baskets against Marquette the last time out.
Bennett is hit from behind by Murphy following the rejection by the 7'1" Hamby.
Well, that was an interesting double team. 7'1" Hamby in front and a very small 6-foot Murphy from behind. Murphy got called for the foul. He saw one chance to try to get a block. Good pursuit that time. The little guy says, while you're trying to look over that human eclipse, I think I'll sneak up and steal this one.
Bennett only a 61% free throw shooter. 5.5 minutes gone by. Both teams appear to be tight here at the start. The feeling is Digger Phelps and Notre Dame will be headed to the NCAA. With DePaul, it's a question mark. There are some who feel that even if they don't win today, they will make it. Record of 19-11, but it has to be kept in mind that when the NCAA committee of 9 gets together, they subtract games against Division II, Division III teams, and in that DePaul victory column is a win over Chaminade, so you can erase that one. Getting in, and DePaul up by the score of 8-5. Both DePaul and Notre Dame, though, have played very difficult schedules. DePaul has faced 7 in the top 20, but they've won only 1 of those against North Carolina State.
They had what they thought was a big win over St. John's here. I mean, a loss to St. John's here, which has become markedly worse when St. John's, well, the wheel just came off for the Redmen at the end of the year.
Long range by Bennett. That's a 3-pointer for Elmer Bennett. And the game is tied at 8.
A very poised Irish team. Again, we make the point, no seniors. And Joe Frederick, really their most experienced player, out with a sprained ankle. And they have shown a lot of poise in here.
Singleton committing the foul. Bennett has all 8 Notre Dame points.
Good double team down the court. You know, most teams pressing DePaul in the horizon. That's kind of like yanking on Superman's cape. But the Irish are also confident of their quickness and transition game. And they're really challenging the Blue Demons. And you don't often see that in this building.
Melvon Foster and David Booth now have entered the DePaul lineup. So it's Murphy and Foster in the backcourt. Booth, Hamby, and Grundy up front. Booth had a career high 23 against Notre Dame at South Bend. Booth off the mark. Grundy on the rebound.
They think Booth's going to be the next high-scoring player for DePaul. Tremendous freshman talent.
Excellent start for the senior Grundy. He's 4 for 4, 8 points. Hamby on the rebound. Here's Lundy. Yes, and it counts.
Transition works both ways. Notre Dame, which has been quick to the ball on the offensive end, gets caught napping. The fly pattern, a heck of a pass from Chucky Murphy. Look at Lundy gather that one in. I told you Terrence Green was the football player, a Parade High School All-American, but Lundy, very tough over the shoulder catch.
Foul committed by Singleton. Damon Sweet, 6'5" freshman from Beaumont, Texas, has checked in for the first time for the Irish. Lundy now 0 for 3 from the line. He's 5 for 5 from the floor. Here is Sweet. Damon Sweet off the bench to connect on his first attempt. It's a 12-10 lead for DePaul.
Irish not really organized on that press. They have one or two pressing and the others are dropping back. They need to get their signals square. I think the press will bother the Blue Demons. It has so far.
Hamby pushing on Robinson. And James Hamby, a 63% shooter who has played well recently, able to hit on his first field goal, and DePaul with a 14-10 edge.
Certainly no poetry in motion. It seems to take him forever to get that release. They may want to front him.
And a very nice move by Damon Sweet, who's come off the bench to hit 2 out of 2. 14-12 to score. DePaul by 2. The Blue Demons at 19-11. They have won 9 of their last 11. The losses in that stretch, as you mentioned, Buck, at the hands of the Redmen of St. John's. That's a blocking foul. And the other loss suffered against Notre Dame. Hamby called on that foul, his first.
Joey Myers just did escape Fordham in New York, but through the course of the season, good teams make those escapes.
11:53 remaining first half. Timeout is called.
You hear the thunder, thunder.
You can see it in the way it looks. You can feel it in the way it drives. This is America's premier sports coupe, Grand Prix.
Get out to Pontiac and ride!
And now is a great time to check out Grand Prix with GMAC financing as low as 4.9% or up to $1,600 cash back on select Grand Prix for qualified first-time buyers.
We build excitement!
See your dealer for details today.
There's a motor oil that talks about quality. Always has, always will. Well, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any automobile manufacturer. Oh yeah, unlike the competition, Valvoline also makes the motor oil used by 7 out of 10 Indy 500 crew chiefs. That's 7 out of 10 crew chiefs every year for the last 10 years. People who know, use Valvoline.
It started with a death.
Do you believe in God?
Yes. It's going to end with a bang.
Is there anyone that'd be afraid to go through a door with me?
When a murder becomes a war.
White supremacy.
A cop needs an army.
But I'd go through a door with you anytime.
Don Johnson, Dead Bang, rated R. Starts Friday, March 24th at a theater near you.
Sunday, from the hotbed of the game, it's the ACC Championship. College basketball, it's the stuff weekends are made of on NBC Sports.
All right? You don't leave for that red
Joey Meyer, in his 5th year, has won 70% of his games here, and he had a rough start. He was booed in this building. In fact, there was a time at introductions they did not mention the coach because he was booed. Now in his 5th year, he's his own man, a very confident guy, former player and captain for his dad, Ray. Ray, of course, still doing color on the radio. In fact, the first Ray Meyer color cast ever was with our colleague Dick Enberg. When a snowstorm hit Chicago, he did the Loyola UCLA game when the regular color man couldn't get there. See, there's always a career after coaching, even for the coach, the big guy. Joey Meyer did a great deal to make the end of Ray Meyer's career a success. There were some real low points in there for a long time. He's earned this shot.
Shot clock is down to 12 for Notre Dame. It's down to 7. Here's Jackson. And DePaul in possession. Nice lead, and Green on a look away. Basketball count. Foul before the shot attempt. Blocking foul.
Digger's livid. This is the difference between Chucky Murphy and Melvon Foster. Murphy would have stopped. Foster gives the look away and ran right over the Irish player. Melvon Foster, one tough cookie.
Elmer Bennett on that foul. Well, Iowa has defeated Indiana by 17, 87-70. 16 fouls now called on Notre Dame. Green, Lundy, Booth, Foster. Green is posting. Booth played very tight.
The DePaul offense gets closer and closer to the basket as they maneuver, and they leave themselves vulnerable for fast breaks because anybody goes for this club at any time. They don't always have good defensive balance.
Green able to beat Jackson, and DePaul has a 4-point lead, 16-12. Stephen Howard has come on for the first time for DePaul. Scott Paddock, 6'9" junior now in the lineup for Notre Dame, wearing number 43.
The Demons now with a 1-2-2, just giving the young Irish another look. Looked like they were really getting dug in against that man for man.
Well, Bennett making it look very easy as he was able to slide by, and he has hit 4 out of 5. He has 10 points. 10 of the Notre Dame 14 points. DePaul leads by 2 with 10 minutes left in this first half. Marv Albert, Bucky Waters, before capacity crowd at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago. Close glass. Rebound Green, and DePaul leads 18-14.
Terrence Green shows that football mentality and aggressiveness around the basket. Not always smooth, but pit bull when he gets in the paint.
And he did turn down a football scholarship at Michigan State. Third all-around athlete. Robinson is hit on the reach-in by Green for Green's first foul.
This is Green's 123rd straight game for the Blue Demons. He was Rod Strickland's roommate. That ought to qualify him with some kind of endurance.
Rod Strickland getting a start once again tonight for the New York Knicks with Mark Jackson injured.
His going out early put a little wrinkle in the Blue Demons' plans, and that's one of the reasons a walk-on like Chucky Murphy has emerged as very important for Joey Myers' club. Strickland having a great pro career with Blue. Bennett is so quick. 2 quick Texans out of for the Irish this year. Bennett and Sweet.
This is Sweet with it. Crowd applauding a solid defensive effort by DePaul. Robinson fielding the air ball, and it is called a tie-up. And the possession arrow is pointing in the direction of Notre Dame.
If that 1-2-2 can contain the dribble penetration of Bennett, it appears the zone is bothering the Irish a little bit. And one thing about it, DePaul can run from that defense because all the people are in the right lanes.
Elmer Bennett, another 3-point field goal. That is his second of the game, and DePaul leads by 1. 13 points for Bennett. He is the high man, getting the playing time over the absence of the leading scorer for Notre Dame, Joe Frederick, who's sitting at a 16-point per game pace. Stephen Howard, who has been in the throes of a shooting slump in recent games, hitting on his first field goal attempt.
Boy, when he's going good, though, Howard is something. A good jump shooter from the top of the key. Excellent passer down underneath. That's a turnover even young teams aren't supposed to make. Says the Digger, but he's mellowed.
Yes, he has. Maybe saving himself for the tournament.
DePaul showing some patience against pretty good man for man.
Lundy getting in.
There's that high-low dump down I just talked about. There aren't many centers like Stephen Howard that can draw you out to play him honest. And that's a tough feed when the big guy is passing down your throat on the block. There's no weak side help when you're feeding from the top.
Sweet. Rebound, Paddock. Basket counts, and the foul. Scott Paddock with the bucket. And he will go to the line.
This used to be what we always thought of inside. Well, here's the offensive play at the end. Ooh, might have been just a little push off there by Stanley Lundy. The quickness inside, the high-low dump down. Lundy with his 4-foot range, but eel-like moves around the hoop, and the great hands to get the pass. Good pass that time by Howard.
Paddock only a 40% foul to the way off. Rebounded by Howard.
Two big men in the game now for the Irish. That looks like what used to be South Bend bulk for Notre Dame.
Yes, the 6'11 Keith Power, 6'9 Scott Paddock. The ball by 3, 22-19. Here's Howard. It will be the DePaul ball, but first timeout call. 7:19 remaining. First half. And Digger on the Irish trailing by 3.
There's no need for you to cry, 'cause I'll be right there by your side.
Rest assured, because new improved Kodak Ultralife batteries last twice as long as any other battery.
You can depend on me.
This new Olds Cutlass Calais International Series reminds me of me. It just won't quit. Fact is, I'm so revved on the new style and features, no way am I coming in. That quad 4 engine really cooks. My dad and granddad would love it.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile. This is the new generation of Olds.
How about the president's on the phone? Heck, trying.
Let's make a deal. Choose low financing rate, cash back, or gas credit on any new Olds. See your dealer today.
Ma'am, so what do you think of Wendy's new chicken parmesan sandwich?
Autentico, la mia ricetta.
Mama says it tastes like hers, too much like hers.
Chi ha rubato la mia ricetta?
No, Mama, nobody stole your recipe.
No, è mia sorella Antonetta.
It wasn't your sister Antonetta.
Try Wendy's delicious new chicken parmesan sandwich. A whole chicken breast fillet, real mozzarella, and a rich tomato sauce. It's at Wendy's now, but only for a limited time.
She didn't sell your recipe to nobody, Mama.
Wendy's new chicken parmesan sandwich.
College is a tough climb. Joining the Army could make it easier. You can earn money for your education with the GI Bill and the Army College Fund. And you'll develop the confidence and determination that can get you to the top in college and beyond.
The nation's top dragsters burn up the tracks at the Chief Auto Parts NHRA Winter Nationals. Red hot rod action on NBC Sports World.
Coming up at halftime, Jimmy Cephalo back at the studio. We'll check out all the scores in college basketball as March Madness has arrived. Check out the rules of the game, and in the Foot Locker Slam Fest final, it'll be NFL speedster Tim Brown of the L.A. Raiders and defending champion and world indoor triple jump record holder Mike Conley. That is the start of the finals in the Slam Fest.
I was really disappointed you didn't get to the finals, Marv.
You know, you try, and you can only do what you can do.
Come on, the only thing athletic you've ever done is jump to a conclusion. Ooh, Maryland catching up.
So awful. Well, Seton Hall in that Big East semifinal, pulling ahead of Syracuse in the second half. After State and Louisville tied at 34 at halftime.
Seton Hall played so poorly yesterday. Just Connecticut Seton Hall was just two teams struggling. Seton Hall survived, and Syracuse had to have a heck of a finish to beat Providence. That was a heartbreaker for the Friars.
Nice fake by Sweet. Damon Sweet has hit 3 out of 4. The combination of Sweet and Bennett outstanding in this first half. And DePaul leads 22-21 as we come up on 6:40 to go in this first half for DePaul. And NCAA bid may well be on the line. It appears Notre Dame hasn't locked up. There's Booth. David Booth with his first bucket. He's a 6'7", maybe 170-pound freshman who had that 23-point game, a career high, against Notre Dame some 10 days back.
Boy, his eyes lit up when the Irish went 2-3. He's a converted high school forward, so he still doesn't put the ball on the floor real well. But you give him time with feet together, he'll kill you.
Sweet again. He is 4 out of 5 for 8 points. Bennett is 5 out of 6 for 13 points, including 2 3-point bombs. Murphy from deep. That's a Murphy with his first points of the day, and DePaul leads 27-23, and the pace has picked up.
Blue Demons now going back to man for man. It really is their best defense. Joey Meyer says we need activity for our athletes. We can't stand around, whatever it takes to get the flow.
There is Green, and he'll go to the line. A good change of direction by Terrence Green.
He never takes a circuitous route. If you just get right to the rim, he'll be there. Watch this. He just slices right through everything and everybody, and he says, you're going to grab me, and I'm going to the line for 2.
Foul committed by Elmer Bennett, and that is Terrence Green's dad. Took part in the senior day ceremonies prior to the start of the game. His father, John, who had not seen him play since Terrence was in high school back in Flint, Michigan.
He could post up guards inside. 6'4" senior. They call him T. He's one of those players that, boy, he can go 3-4 minutes and just throw the ball away and look awful, and he can rip them off. Big chunks. He's hot.
DePaul by 5, 28-23. Bennett with the crossover dribble. Tower try to keep it alive. Gets to it and fouled by Tower. Keith Tower, the 6'11" freshman out of Pittsburgh, called for his second foul. So 2 apiece on Tower, Bennett, Singleton, and Ellis. LaFonso Ellis picked up 2 early and then departed.
When I first saw Tower, I thought that, well, here's another Tim Kempton, but he's a lot more skilled, Mark. He's really going to be a good one. He runs the floor well, skilled, good work habits. This is really quite an accomplishment for this young Notre Dame team to already be in the NCAA. This is really like not a rebuilding, a reloading. A different look for the Irish.
5 minutes remaining first half. Robinson. And it will be DePaul ball. Last season, Notre Dame went 20-9. They lost David Rivers, Harry Bose, Stevenson, who had some difficulties with the law and then transferred to Duquesne. Booth gets it back out to Murphy. Green with some room. Finding Hamby. And it's DePaul by 7. Biggest lead for either team, 30-23.
The Irish defense has become stymied. They're just standing and looking right now. Those entry passes are coming much too easy.
Jameer Jackson. Ball wanted to travel. Jackson on the follow. His first field goal. And Notre Dame trails by 5, 30-25.
Great example of offensive rebounding. If you're going to be a good offensive rebounder, you can't wait till that ball hits the glass. You got to be in motion because the guy that shoots it has that 6th sense as to where it's going to come off.
Difference here in the first half, in contrast to what took place in their last meeting, is that DePaul has hung in against Notre Dame off the board. Lundy, he is 7 for 7. He has 14 points.
Everything's down in the paint. The key to this game is rebounding because, A, the strength of DePaul is offensive rebounding. They had 20 offensive boards against Marquette. Lundy alone had 10 that he put back in for hoops.
Holding foul on DePaul.
DePaul personal number 30, David Booth, his first.
That is the first picked up by Booth. Booth sitting down. Timeout taken. 3:35 remaining. First half, and DePaul leads by 7.
You wouldn't believe the stuff my dad had to do to get his hands on his dream machine. You name it, he'd do it. Here's my dream machine, the new Cutlass Supreme. And all I had to do to get one was go to my old dealer.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile.
Ignition.
This is the new generation. Wow!
Let's make a deal. Choose low financing rate, cash back, or gas credit on any new Olds. See your dealer today.
Racing team, the winningest team in off-road racing, goes nowhere without Craftsman tools. From their durable precision power tools to hand tools that are guaranteed forever. So, make sure it's a Craftsman, because you don't want to get stuck with anything else.
Hogan and the Macho Man, a powerful friendship torn apart by emotions out of control. Tonight, Miss Elizabeth must choose between them on Saturday night's main event. Well, we discussed a moment ago that DePaul has done well here in this first half because they have hung in off the boards against Notre Dame. Notre Dame among the leading rebounding teams in the nation.
When you go to sleep against DePaul, they kill you on that offensive board. Joey Meyer was very concerned about the emotion of this building, and this team would be flat-footed. Not to be. His team has been up and running and jumping, and when they do that, the Blue Demons in here are tough. And there's the Express in motion right now.
And Curtis Price able to finish it off with a well-executed break. DePaul with its biggest lead. They lead by 9. Here's Sweet. And rebounded by Grundy.
They had a lot of good breaks early in the year, but they didn't have the finisher. Rod Strickland was the finisher, and they've been looking for that guy to make it happen right at the end.
Green missing a three-pointer, but Hamby is there.
Offensive rebounding. Offensive rebounding. Digger's suspenders are stretched. He's hot. He's got 2 centers in the game, and the Blue Demons are still beating them on the board.
Timeout taken by Notre Dame, and here comes Terrence Green, another look.
There's the finish. In this building, transition is big trouble for anybody in dark jerseys. It's 3-on-1. The Irish caught back. Pretty good defensive play by Jameer Jackson. May have drawn the charge. Digger thought so, and he had some big-time glares, and in fact has a conversation now. He's yet to talk to his team. He's wondering, what do I have to do to get the charge?
All right, later today, NBC's Golf Tour 89 will be at the Bay Hill Club in Orlando, Florida for the Nestle Invitational. That will follow DePaul and Notre Dame. The Blue Demons on a 9-2 run, and they have extended to their biggest lead, 36-25. Stanley Lundy, 7 for 7 from the field. He has 14 points. He's the high man for DePaul. Notre Dame getting it out of its young backcourt. Elmer Bennett with 13 points. Damon Sweet with 8. Here comes LaFonso Ellis, who has not scored. Went out early after picking up a second foul. He sat out the last 2 games because of a dislocated right index finger. So Digger Phelps looking to get some offense back into it. LaFonso Ellis, an outstanding freshman from East St. Louis, Illinois.
The Gators of Florida survive the home court advantage at Tennessee. for the tournament win. Boy, they had a buzzer beater just to get to the semifinals. That's one thing these two independents, Notre Dame and DePaul, miss. The March Madness of conference tournaments. It's a little wacky. ADs and faculty chairmen get suites, and the guys, the players that really determine things, are 2 to a room. They can't have room service, and they got to pay for every call. But they're the ticket to the big dance in the NCAA.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. And it's DePaul by 11. 36-25. Singleton is back. Last touch by DePaul. Singleton trying to get it to Keith Robinson down low.
Digger back with his original starting lineup, and obviously coming out of the timeout, trying to reestablish an inside game.
Foul committed by Chucky Murphy. His second 2 apiece on Murphy and Howard. And it will be a 1-and-1.
Postmen for the Irish have to realize that DePaul is not a good position defensive team. They're not a patient defensive team. They're going to be in there all the time looking for that steal so they can get out and run. And that means you've really got to come to meet the entry pass. Otherwise, it's going to be loose and the Demons are gone.
Here Jackson, the best foul shooter on Notre Dame, but not able to click, and taken away by Murphy. Here's Price. Hamby. And then rescued by Ellis.
One of the few times the Blue Demons haven't been able to finish well, and even got an offensive rebound and didn't convert.
Jackson rejected, kept alive though by Ellis.
But this mix master quality out there now definitely favors the Blue Demons.
Ellis is his first field goal, and DePaul leads by the score of 36-27.
The Irish haven't been able to set up that press because they haven't been able to score. Keep in mind now, Ellis has that index finger on his shooting hand, which is bandage. They say he's 80-85%.
A minute 50 remaining in this first half.
Terrence Green posting up down inside. A real force for any guard to handle. Even when the Irish are man for man, they're doing a lot of switching, which means that DePaul can get some mismatches.
Murphy from 3. And rebounded by Jackson. Here comes Singleton. Good position for Robinson.
6-7 Grundy. It didn't stay up there long.
We are approaching 1 minute remaining, first half. And after a slow start, both clubs looking tight at the outset. DePaul taking over. Hamby is called for the traveling violation. Iowa State now by 3. Oklahoma coming back in the second half.
Must have been partying last night, welcoming Mookie Blaylock back. Well, they had an adventure getting out of the first round as well. Think about these conference tournaments. There's no real pressure now because the good teams are going to the NCAA. Real pressure is when you had to win your own conference tournament just to play again. That was pressure.
Singleton with a beautiful move. Tim Singleton, the sophomore from New Orleans. Lundy beating the Irish down again. And that has been a recurring theme here in this first half. He's 8 for 8. He has 16 points. Here's Bennett. Wild shot, but he got it. And DePaul leads 38-31 with 23 seconds left in the half.
DePaul just beating him down the floor. There were times in years past when Notre Dame didn't have the good foot speed. With this team, they've got excellent speed. It's concentration. You've got to respect DePaul's ability to come out of that net with it running. Even when you score, they're trying to run.
Down to 10 seconds in the half. Price. Here's Green. Green getting through. 2 seconds left. 9-point DePaul lead. And that is it. So halftime on an emotional afternoon for the Blue Demons fans of DePaul as their home finale senior day here at the Rosemont Horizon. And a solid first half for DePaul. They lead it by 9.
Richard, let's make a deal. You loan me your new Cutlass Supreme and I'll fill her up. Dad Olds gave me a year's supply of gasoline. Marilyn, $50 to use your new Tornado.
I got $1,500 back from Olds.
Oh, Sharon, need help financing your Cutlass Calais?
I got 4.9 financing. Sorry.
This is not your father's automobile.
Hey, kid.
Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal on a new generation automobile.
If you'd like to get the Reebok Revenge, size 15, you can go to Foot Locker or Gargantuan Green's Locker. Foot Locker. Where else you gonna go? Foot Locker carries the largest selection of cross-training shoes for whatever your routine. Foot Locker. Where else you gonna go?
Today at Ryder, we're putting one of our trucks through its paces. This truck was selected at random from our fleet to prove that we maintain the highest performance standards. Standards that ensure a smooth, easy, and comfortable ride. Right? Move yourself with Ryder. We make the going easy.
If your car pulls to one side, let Midas check your alignment. At Midas, trained professionals with the latest technology align your car right. You see, we're serious about safety. Hey, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
There are some parts of our Burger King Cheeseburger Deluxe McDonald's doesn't want you to notice. Like it's flame broiled and juicy, with crisp lettuce and red ripe tomato. No wonder McDonald's hates the Burger King Cheeseburger Deluxe. No wonder you're gonna love it.
Basketball is being brought to you by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. And by Foot Locker, America's most complete athletic footwear store. Where else you gonna go? Welcome back to the Rosemont Horizon. Marv Albert along with Bucky Waters and Joey Meyer, we mentioned right at the start, concerned about too much emotion on the part, particularly of his seniors, Stanley Lundy and Terrence Green, but they have come through. Lundy, the high man with 16, and he has killed the Irish in the first half.
And they've taken away the Irish strength. Absolutely. They're going to the boards, and they're dominating the inside game. LaFonso Ellis has been basically rendered neutral in this game. It's been all DePaul. The emotion turned out to be plus, not minus for the Blue Demons.
Ellis got in that early foul trouble, has not played much of the first half, has only a field goal for 2. So DePaul looking good at halftime. They lead Notre Dame by 9. We'll be back with more of our halftime after these words from your local station.
R is for Rampage. A is for Action. M is for Mayhem. B is for Baboom. And O is for, oh boy, he's back. That's Rambo. He spells excitement. Rambo Sunday.
Today's game is being sponsored by the following participating advertiser, Old Style.
I got a dream, it comes from the heart of the heartland. I can make my dream, cause I take my dream right from the heart of the heartland. Right from the heart of the heartland. I was gonna reach for the best, got it all here in my hand. Wherever I go, gonna let them know I come right from the heart of the heartland.
In the heartland, people know what it means to reach for a dream. That's where Old Style is brewed. Brewed with a dream. Not to be the biggest beer in America, just the best.
I got a dream, it comes from the heart of the heartland. Right from the heart of the heartland.
Reach for the best. Old style beer.
Join us as we search Chicago for the perfect new home. It's New Home Showcase, Sundays at 11:30, right here on Channel 5.
Welcome back to our NBC studios in New York. I'm Jimmy Cephalo. This is tournament weekend throughout the nation with schools vying.
Tim Brown, who you picking? I didn't pick Tim Brown all through the Paris. I still don't pick Tim Brown, but there's 3 chances this time to dunk.
The crowd is looking for...
Thanks, Professor.
To help elevate him to block that shot. What is that?
Always adapt.
The fact that he's 0 for 3 from the foul.
It is DePaul by 9 over Notre Dame, 40-31 as we head to the second half. And what a first half for DePaul senior Stanley Lundy. 8 for 8 from the field, 16 points in all.
He has absolutely dominated the paint inside. There was a feed from high post man Howard. Here the Blue Demons are in action. A perfect 8 for 8. And when this guy gets this close, you can book it. The only flaws in the first half for the senior is the fact that he's 0 for 3 from the foul line. Again, another picture. Down inside, inside. The Blue Demons have beaten the Irish at their strength. Front court and on the boards.
And the Blue Demons shooting 58% for the first half. Notre Dame not shooting well. They missed their first 6 shots from the field, Buck, and then came out to hit 19 out of 27.
Well, the interesting thing is Frederick isn't here, but it isn't the guard play that's hurt Notre Dame. It's been the front court and the boards. When Notre Dame doesn't beat you on the boards, they're in trouble. That's like their signature. And DePaul has been determined to take that away, and they've run well. Additionally, for the year, DePaul is like 1-to-1 with assists and turnovers. But they're running with such abandon today, and they're so loose that they have 9 assists to 3 turnovers. That's really quite astonishing. This is not a careful ball club.
No, they actually loosened up after a slow start. Both clubs tied. It's a 9-point DePaul lead as we head to the second half. We'll be back here at the Rosemont Horizon right after these words.
With anything.
Percentage isn't too shabby for the Irish. The problem is their defense and their boards are broken down so that DePaul is getting anything it wants inside. The surprise start of James Hamby. A good move by Joey Meyer. He was 3 for 5 from the floor. Also 4 rebounds, 6 points. A good move.
And Elmer Bennett, high point man with 15 getting the start. What with the injury suffered by Joe Frederick. And there is Stanley Lundy. As a senior, a member of an outstanding Crenshaw High School team that went 30-0, winning the city championship in Los Angeles. He has had a superb collegiate career. He's averaging just under 20 per ball game and a perfect first half from the field. 8 for 8 for 16 points, although 0 for 3 from the foul line. It is DePaul ball. They are in the white uniform as we get underway in the second half. DePaul with that 9-point lead.
Notre Dame turning up the defensive pressure, trying to get them to not think about that inside game so much. But at least on the first thrust, to no avail.
Basket counts and the foul, so the seniors continue for the Blue Demons. Terrence Green with 11 points, and he'll go to the line.
Never in doubt, right into the forest. All those dark jerseys, so strong, such a competitor. Joey Meyer will tell you he is our emotional leader. Always worried about the Irish coming back, getting a good start in the second half. DePaul starts with a hoop, just like he put it on the blackboard.
And LaFonso Ellis cannot get himself a game. He picked up the foul, his third. LaFonso, Notre Dame's most highly regarded front court player to be recruited since Kelly Tripucka and Orlando Woolridge back in 1977. But Ellis with 3 fouls.
You consider a freshman is leading this team in scoring and rebounding, and the fact that Diggers had 9 first-round NBA draft choices, and none of the others were able to do that, gives you an indication just how good this freshman is.
Fonso remaining on the floor. It appeared he would be pulled. Keith Robinson draws the foul, so he will go to the line. Hampy collecting his second. Robinson, one of the better free throw shooters for the Irish at 72%. And Notre Dame opening up with Ellis, Jackson, Robinson, Singleton, and Bennett. Here is Keith Robinson. He has been Notre Dame's unsung hero, strong candidate for Team Most Valuable Player honors, although he has not been flashy and has had a very quiet afternoon. So DePaul by 11, 43-32. Some pressure from Notre Dame.
Robinson on the point of that press. That's a tough pass over him. The backup man, LaFonso Ellis, came into this game with 49 rejects.
That is a school record. He passed by Orlando Woolridge.
Digger said he's too sweet, he's too nice.
Turnover. And here comes Bennett. He threw it away. Bundy picked it off. It's a 2-on-1 led by Murphy. On the pull-up. Yes.
What to do? What to do? Timeout? Now? What? They're running us out of here. This is a tune-up for us. We're going to the NCAA, but what will the humiliation mean to our chances?
Bigger said prior to the game that he hopes this crowd is going wild. He hopes Lundy and Green have tremendous games because he would like it to be a strong tune-up for the NCAA. Well, that's what he has got to this point. Well, Louisville knocking off Memphis State. That's a final in the Metro semi-final.
What's the adage? Be careful what you wish for. It's most likely to come true. Blue Demons 2-3. On the baseline. They've got to be careful right now for a letdown. Everything has gone their way so much for so long. They can't lose that killer instinct, even with this good crowd.
Robinson. And that is his first field goal of the game. 45-34. DePaul by 11. And Notre Dame again to the trap. And then drop back as Green gets it across. And try to get too tricky. It's a discontinue. Got away with the behind the back and then coughed it up.
It's always third and short when he gets the ball. At the end of the half, Ellis and Robinson, the two inside postmen, were a combined 1 for 6. That's how much the Blue Demons have dominated the inside game.
At the conclusion of today's ball game, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team, and Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Singleton for Ellis. Sweet. Sweet on the follow. Tough move by Damon Sweet, who's played well. That's his 5th field goal. He has 10, and it's a 9-point DePaul lead.
Well, you can believe Notre Dame had some conversation about getting back. That time, DePaul tried to run out of the net, and nothing but Irish jerseys waiting for him.
Held on Foster for Terrence Green from deep. That's a three-point field goal for Green.
That's not his strength. That's just another dimension. That just means it's one of those days.
Ellis off the fake. And Green on the rebound.
That shot appeared to come off the palm of his hand. I think his the shooting finger, index finger on his shooting hand did affect that shot.
Sat out the last two games with a dislocated right index finger. Foster, yes. And DePaul is on fire. They lead it now 50-36.
Look at Frank's yard. I don't have a yard like that. Look at that hill. I don't have a hill like that. Look at that John Deere tractor. I don't need a tractor like that. I just need a good, basic tractor. You want to see what I got?
Introducing the new STX lawn tractor, the basic John Deere, with a price that's just as basic.
Chevy S10 Blazer, the most powerful V6 engine available in its class, and the most fun available in any class.
Sunday, from the hotbed of the game, it's the ACC Championship. College basketball, it's the stuff weekends are made of on NBC Sports.
North Carolina clobbering Maryland. Maryland coming off that upset over North Carolina State. So, in the ACC final tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock here at NBC, it will be North Carolina against the winner of Duke and Virginia. Dick Enberg and Al McGuire will be there to bring it to you 1 o'clock Eastern Time. That's tomorrow. The Blue Demons of DePaul on a roll, leading Notre Dame 50-36 with 4 minutes gone by. In the second half, Marv Albert with Bucky Waters from the Rosemont Horizon. Better than 17,000 on hand, a capacity crowd, and then some. It may be the biggest crowd ever here at the Horizon. Nice move. So Alfonso Ellis with his second field goal. He's playing with 3 fouls, and it's a 12-point DePaul lead.
Every timeout, the Irish trying to establish an inside game, going right down inside. The guards have taken most of the shots today for Notre Dame. Thus, they haven't been on the free throw line, and it just hasn't helped their cause.
Melvin Foster hitting on his second field goal. He's a sophomore, a hometown man from Chicago, and he has given the Blue Demons a 14-point lead. Singleton hit on a reach-in, and you look at Terrence Green was called on the foul. Bucky, you look at the front line of Notre Dame. Ellis has struggled. He's 2 for 5, bothered by the injured finger. Jameer Jackson only 1 for 6. Keith Robinson not able to get into it. He is 1 for 4 thus far. Off the steal, it's a 2-on-1. Green with Price, and broken up beautifully. Broken up by Bennett.
Terrence Green just careless with the ball. He was getting ready to launch the alley-oop. He saw Brundy coming on the sideline, and he was really embarrassed because the Irish jumped right on it, took it down his throat. There was the alley-oop that never existed. Elmer Bennett really, I think, amazed him with his jumping ability to get up there and reject that. An alley-oop was skyjacked.
Didn't put much time into thinking about these things. Another Notre Dame turnover.
Not enough.
Green looking for Lundy. Last touched by Notre Dame. DePaul comes in with a record of 19-11. They've won 9 of the last 11. They come off a victory last Saturday night over Marquette here at the Rosemont Horizon. This is Keith Tower replacing Keith Robinson. Tower, the 6'11 freshman. Notre Dame at 20-7. They have won 8 of their last 11, and they come off a win at Marquette. They've won their last 2, both on the road at Marquette and Butler. Foster. He's on a roll. He's hit 3 out of 3. 54-38. DePaul now by 16.
He has emerged as the team leader. A very tough kid.
Yes, he had a broken nose earlier in the season. Ellis off the mark. Tower on the rebound, and the foul is called. Foster had a broken nose, but still hung in. Did not lose much playing time, and he's the type of guy who's always swarming for loose balls, and he continued to dive all over the court despite the broken nose. Foster called on that foul.
That injury occurred down in the Sugar Bowl, and it was really a bad one. You know, one of those bloody noses that looks a lot worse than it was, even though it was broken. It really wasn't a serious injury, and he was back in the second half, and they said it would, when they first saw it, would be at least 2 weeks out.
Bennett from 3. And DePaul on the run. Last touched by DePaul. Incidentally, Melvon Foster is celebrating his 20th birthday today.
He credits Kevin Edwards and Rod Strickland, the fine backcourt last year with his turnaround. Foster's a sophomore, and he credits those two guys working with him in the spring and summer to really hone his skills as a backcourt player. 6'3", he's really kind of a small forward. He's got those great skills, but he's become a consummate guard and a big part of the DePaul future.
Terrence Green sitting down, leads with 15. Jackson, and he was hit by Price, for Curtis Price, in his first foul.
Price is another one of those Grundy athletes, just guys that just seem to bounce and sprint and never stop.
Coaches say he plays with linebacker type intensity, and he has been compared to Stanley Lundy at an earlier stage in his career. Price is only a freshman. And that is a rare, successful free throw for either club.
Notre Dame backcourt, notoriously poor free throw shooters. Stats like 68, 60, 68, 66. Actually, the big men are pretty good free throw shooters for the Irish. The problem today is they haven't had an inside game and they haven't gone to the line.
Jackson in particular, good foul shooter, as you saw, 84%. 54-40. Paul with the ball, a 14-point lead. Price, good job by Tower in fronting Lundy.
Not sure what the Irish are in here defensively. It looks like they're extending a matchup. The one good thing for them is they've got DePaul standing.
Get on there, get on there.
It's like a 3-4 opening to me, but
wide tackle 6.
Here's Murphy. And Singleton starts back.
I don't look for DePaul to get into any kind of cute offense. They got to keep going.
Three-pointer for Jackson. Digger Phelps wanted a foul. He thought Jackson was hit. 54-43. And DePaul now leads by 11. They've led by as many as 16.
And they better not get soft with this Irish team. They're quick, and they're just young enough not to understand that maybe they shouldn't be able to come back. And in fact, this team on the floor right now is the team that came from 11 down in Pauley Pavilion, which was really an outstanding victory for the young Irish team on the road against UCLA. That team didn't have Joe Frederick either.
Traveling violation. Right now, DePaul having difficulty getting the ball down low to Stanley Lundy. I Iowa State now by 1 over Oklahoma.
You know, with Billy Tubbs' mentality, he likes to win games like Hitler won Poland, so you know that he's not being cute and saving anything.
Timeout has been taken, so we will take a break.
In the summer games, a marathoner blamed his disappointing finish on the fit of his shoes. Perhaps he should have started at Foot Locker. Foot Locker, where else you gonna go? The difference between a great athletic shoe store and all the rest is as simple as black and white. Foot Locker, where else you gonna go?
I'm Gene Morbig, State Farm agent. Right now, millions of drivers 50 years of age and over are saving important money with a State Farm discount, just like my policyholders, the Bimas. And now, because Ralph and Nyla are over 50, they're saving important money with a State Farm discount. If you are 50 or over and you want great service and savings too, talk to a State Farm agent now.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you want to go places in any career, ask yourself, can I perform under pressure? Can I be counted on to get the job done? You can learn how in the Army, so when you're ready to take off, you'll know you can go far.
Ordinary windows versus windowscaping. Windows, windowscaping. Windows, windowscaping. See the windowscaping experts only at the Pella Window Store.
The nation's top dragsters burn up the tracks at the Cheap Auto Parts NHRA Winter Nationals. Red hot rod action on NBC's Sports World.
DePaul senior co-captain Stanley Lundy went over the 600-point mark earlier in the ball game, becoming only the 4th in DePaul history, joining Mark McGuire, Terry Cummings, Dave Corzine. Stanley Lundy, who has come a long way since struggling as a freshman last year. He shot 66%, second in the nation in field goal percentage. This year at 65%, and you can see why. Almost everything from in close. He has that putback ability. And he is 8 for 8 from the field. That will not hurt his statistics.
Blue Demons now on the 1-2-2. But it's kind of passive. They've lost that edge. They're not quite as tenacious as they were early.
Jackson. It's called an offensive foul. No basket. So Jameer Jackson commits his first.
That DePaul defense is really packed in there. There's almost no place to go. It's a pretty decent move, except he's too far under. He had to fight a war just to get back out so he could see the rim.
11:50 remaining in the second half, and DePaul leading by 11. Booth had it knocked away, but recovered. Stephen Howard is back to DePaul, as is Terrence Green. Green and Foster in the backcourt. Howard up front with Lundy and Booth. Booth has been quiet.
Irish in a switching man for man now. This leads to mismatches. There's one.
Green drew the foul. Singleton picks up his third. Terrence Green. 2 for 3 from the free throw line. A 65% free throw shooter.
Green has that instinct at 6'4" and 200 and change. As soon as he had Singleton, who's 6'1" and very thin, he took him right to the basket.
These are two young teams. Among DePaul's top 8 players, 4 are freshmen. And like Notre Dame, DePaul has played a difficult schedule, facing 7 top 20 teams. They beat only one of those, North Carolina State. And the Irish with no seniors, 5 freshmen.
I think Joey Meyer's a little concerned about his tenacity right now, despite the lead, showing some full court pressure, trying to get a little life. You know, when you hit that big emotional start, Mark, a lot of times that adrenaline will settle down, and you have a relapse. And he's trying to get his team jacked up again. They were really humming at the end of the half.
Singleton. Tim Singleton with his second field goal. 56-45. Notre Dame down by 11. And again, the pressure, and it paid off. Singleton with the steal. Stopped by Green. Here's Jackson. The block by Booth. And it's Green out of the pack. Oh, the speed with the ball of Terrence Green.
A 4-point turnaround. I mean, Notre Dame had 3 layups that wouldn't go down. That was the 2 they lost and then had it run down their throat.
Just changed his mind. Been reluctant to shoot. Jackson. And again, DePaul with the break. A 3-on-2. Green out of control.
He got to the lane and it just looked like a can you top this? Joey Meyer took his glasses off. Couldn't bear to watch this up close and clear. That was the turnover. The ball had the numbers and threw it away.
Here's Singleton. And it is called a blocking foul on Foster. Melvon Foster commits his second.
DePaul's been getting the advantage on a lot of those close calls. That's part of being at home.
Although Joey Meyer did not agree with that particular call. 16 fouls now on DePaul, only 3 for Notre Dame. Singleton to the line, a 68% free throw shooter. Last year he was David Rivers' backup. He is now the starting point guard in an effective backcourt combination with Joe Frederick, who was out with that sprained ankle. Tigger Phelps concerned today also with Frederick out because he's been the vocal leader on the floor. He was wondering where the leadership would come from.
They actually have gotten good offensive play out of their backcourt. That hasn't been the breakdown.
DePaul by 11 with 9.5 left of the game.
I know Joey Meyer's looking at this group out here and saying, they're schmoozing on me. They've lost it. I've got to do something to get him back in gear.
You think that's what he's saying to himself?
Well, if he was a New York coach, he'd say schmooze, yeah. But they've lost that tenacity. That's obvious.
Oh, gorgeous move by Jameer Jackson. And the Irish battling back into it, trailing now 58-49.
I think he needs to go to his defense. I think he needs to go out and chase. Even though the Irish guards are quick and you might be making them better, he's got to do something to help his club.
Foster try to get it to Lundy, and the rejection by Ellis. DePaul continues to have difficulty getting the ball to Stanley Lundy.
That's called an adjustment at half. Bigger's been around a long time. When the guy's 8 for 8 and all of them are on the blocks, you do something about it. And they have definitely done a good job of sealing off that entry pass.
And they did it again. This time Robinson kept it away from Howard. Lundy has not attempted a shot in the second half following the 8 for 8 in that first half. Now Lundy able to lose his man, make it 9 for 9 and an 11-point DePaul lead.
That's as good a half-court ball movement as DePaul has shown all day. Good patience, good pass.
Yes. And he is hot. 11 points for Jameer Jackson. 9 of the 11 here in the second half. The steal by Singleton.
Joey Meyer wants and needs a timeout. Old Momentum has put on an Irish jersey.
Cut into a 16-point lead. They have come within 6 with 8 minutes left in the second half. We'll be back at the Rosemont Horizon in a moment. First, these words from your local station.
Tonight on Hunter, a Night Stalker caught in the act.
Didn't do it, help me!
Or is the real killer still on the streets?
I think he's got an accomplice.
TV's #1 cop, Hunter, tonight.
There may be banks that hire as many graduates from the nation's top 10 business schools as we do. Other company rosters may claim as many alumni from the 8 universities of the Ivy League. Some may even match our collection of MBAs from Chicago's 2 leading programs. But among Chicago business banks, only one can present this report card. The Exchange Banks.
We asked Saab 900 turbo drivers to describe their car's performance. The way it's built. Its comfort. Roominess. And how they feel about their choice. But why ask? The car speaks for itself.
Lease a Saab 900 from your Chicagoland Saab dealer for as low as $273 a month. Rambo is back Sunday at 8 on Channel 5.
DePaul forged its biggest lead at 16, being assertive offensively and defensively. Now passive, Tim Singleton, the freshman, strips Chuck Murphy, the freshman, and this is the end result. And definite swing now of momentum to the Irish. And Joey Meyer called timeout to try to put some life back in his club. Digger says, my club's gone. My rookies have overcome the shock of this place. They're back in it. What a run.
And turnovers hurting DePaul here in the second half. They've committed 9, several by number 13, Terrence Green. Got a little careless on a couple of forays down court. Notre Dame with only 4 turnovers. Both clubs shooting well, though, in the second half. And the key, the fact that Notre Dame has closed down Stanley Lundy thus far.
Oh, this is half court. This is terminal for the Blue Demons. It's a switching man for man. Really just packed in there, and they always know where Lundy is.
Oh, Murphy way off the mark. Here's Ellis. Nice touch. And it is down to a 4-point lead.
This is where the DePaul seniors, Green and Lundy, have to take over. They've got to restart, jumpstart that DePaul offense one more time.
Now Lundy foul. Hit by Keith Robinson, who was, again, attempting to front Lundy. That's only the first foul committed by Robinson. That is a final score. Oklahoma squeaking by. Mookie Blaylock making his return this afternoon. And Oklahoma in another tough test, but getting by Iowa State. We're told they won it with a 3-pointer.
That was after double overtime yesterday. I think Tubbs may have something to do with concessions percentages.
People around. Terrence Green getting inside, 62-56. DePaul by 16. Notre Dame with that 18-4 run to move within 4 after trailing by as many as 16. We're down to 6:40 left in the game.
The restart of the DePaul offense has got to come from its defense. They haven't gotten any transition baskets for a long time. They've got to get the ball in motion, and they've got to do that defensively.
Foul called on Jackson. That is the 15th foul on Notre Dame. DePaul has 6. And it will be DePaul ball. They are back with Lundy up front, along with Hamby and Booth. Green and Foster in the backcourt. This is Foster handling against Singleton. This is Booth. Hamby outside. Green. Booth wide open. And the rebound to Robinson.
Just 10 days ago, Booth had a career high, 23 points and 7 boards against the Irish in South Bend. He's been a non-factor today.
Only 1 out of 4 did not start. Joey Meyer went with Curtis Price. And David Booth came off the bench. Just under 6 minutes left in the game. Notre Dame in possession. They're down by 6. They have come, though, from way back. Singleton, Ellis, down to 15 on the shot clock. Sweet. Yes. Damon Sweet is 6 for 10. He has 12 points, and it's a 4-point DePaul lead.
The good ball handling of the Notre Dame guards has just pushed DePaul back. The whole defense is packed into the lane. The Irish backcourt doesn't have to be good outside shooters. They're shooting 15-footers.
Foster. DePaul by 6, 64-58 with 5:15 left in the game.
I think I ticked him off when I called him a non-factor.
Nice pass, and Alfonso Ellis, who has become a contributor in the second half, converts on his fourth field goal. He has 8 points, and again, a 4-point DePaul lead. And for the Blue Demons of DePaul, it may well be that the NCAA bid is on the line. Not the case for Notre Dame. They appear to be solid. It's a force, and let's see. It was tipped home by David Booth. So DePaul by 6, 66-60. Booth getting way up.
I expected more DePaul pressure. They're just packing that defense in.
Sweet keeping it alive. Nice pass. And the foul. So Ellis to the line. Lundy called on his second. Alfonso Ellis is a 66% free throw shooter.
Everybody talks about Ellis' offensive skills like he's almost a big guard. He went head-to-head against Alonzo Mourning in high school all-star games and did very well with his inside play. It's just that his smile and his appearing soft countenance, you know, you think, right, the guy's warm and fuzzy. But as he took the ball to the basket that time, and his reject record this freshman year indicates he's a pretty tough cookie in there.
Averaging better than 13 points a game. He's done it off the boards. He's done it as a shot blocker. Hits 2 important free throws. And DePaul by 4, 66-62. Foster for Booth. Andy can handle it. The save taken by Singleton. And the foul will put Damon Sweet on the foul line. That's 3 on Lundy.
There haven't been many highlights this half for DePaul. This was one. A good deflection there by Jameer Jackson. The ball gets back on the rim. Booth stuffs, and he came alive. That was one of the few bright spots for Joey Meyer this half. His Blue Demons have not done much, and they need to get down and create some defensive pressure. They've been put asleep in the half-court second half.
Good free throw shooting by the Irish here in the second half, and for the game now 9 for 13, and Digger Phelps will take it. 4 free throw shooting team, and Damon Sweet has cut it to a 2-point lead with 3:53 left in the game.
When I say sharp.
Copiers.
When I say sharp.
Computers.
Sharp. When I say sharp, I mean
Calculators.
I mean
fax machines.
I mean
typewriters.
I mean business. When I say sharp, I mean business.
From sharp minds come sharp products.
When I say sharp, I mean business.
Who says Chevy beats Ford? USAC tested Chevy's compact S10 with available Vortec V6 against 2 full-size Fords with standard 6 and available V8. 0 to 60, towing identical trailers. Chevy S10 beat both full-size Fords. That's pickup power.
And if a compact Chevy S10 with a V6 can out-accelerate a full-size Ford with a V8, imagine what it can do against Ford's little truck.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevy truck.
Burger King introduces the Cheeseburger Deluxe. Our flame-broiled regular cheeseburger all decked out in luscious lettuce and tasteful tomato. The Cheeseburger Deluxe, now at Burger King at a very tempting price.
Definitely deluxe.
I'm going to give you 2 good reasons to look for the Kodak Color Watch seal. Dimples. Yes, a great shot at dimples deserves great developing. The Kodak Color Watch system. You're going to thank me for it, and so will your dimples.
College basketball is being brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet, and by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline. Marv Albert with Bucky Waters from the Rosemont Horizon. in the suburbs of Chicago. The first sellout of the season. Better than 17,000 on hand. Notre Dame, a poor foul shooting team throughout the season, has turned it here this afternoon. 9 for 10 in the second half, and that has been the difference. They went on an 18-4 run. They were down by as many as 16, and they have now moved within 2. It is DePaul ball with 3:40 remaining in the game.
And there's a reason for that statistic. The Irish, coming out of the half, did two things. They cut off the inside game of DePaul and created one of their own. They've been going down inside, either with the pass, the drive, and they've created an inside game that just so far this half, DePaul has not handled well. I'm looking for DePaul to press, do something to get out of this stuck-in-the-mud attitude that they seem to have in the half-court game.
Foul on Notre Dame. They have one foul to give. DePaul is already over the foul limit. And it's called on Robinson. That is his second. 3 apiece on Ellis and Singleton. Grundy and Murphy have 3. Timeout situation. Both with 2 remaining. It's a leg block on Jackson, so Booth will attempt to throw it again.
It's amazing. It's almost like they were tranquilized at the half, the Blue Demons. Looks like a different team.
Well, turnovers also hurt. Green getting in. And the tip by Grundy will not count. Foul call on DePaul.
21,
Stephen Howard committing his third. DePaul over the limit.
Terrific offensive move. Terrence Green has been making that one all day long. It wouldn't go down. Stephen Howard recently in the game comes up over the back of LaFonso Ellis, gets called for the foul. Howard came into the game for Hamby, who had a big first half, really didn't do much for DePaul in the second half.
Keith Robinson not able to take advantage of the 1-and-1. DePaul maintaining the 2-point lead as we come up on 3 minutes left in the game. This is Howard, followed by Robinson. Howard, and rebounded by Robinson. Not the shot that Joey Meyer wanted.
Good pressure on Howard that time. He was trying to find Grundy down inside, a combination that really worked well for the Blue Demons in the first half. You let Howard look over your defense down around the baseline, he'll pick it apart.
2.5 left. Singleton gets it back out to Sweet. He's had the hot hand. Sweet being played now by the 6'7 Booth. Here's Sweet, rejected by Booth. Sweet recovers. Robinson. And Booth comes away with it. Howard run into by Robinson. That's 3 on Robinson. And now it is 1-and-1 at both ends.
Just a little bit of motion brought this crowd in the game. Just the thought that they had a fast break going. That's how starved they've been.
Timeout has been called with 2:12 remaining. We'll be right back.
There's a motor oil that talks about world-class protection. Catchy phrase, but Valvoline is recommended by name in the owner's manuals of these world-class cars. The other motor oil is not. Whatever you drive, Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any car manufacturer. Around the world, people who know use Valvoline.
Racing team, the winningest team in off-road racing, goes nowhere without Craftsman tools. From their durable precision power tools to hand tools that are guaranteed forever. So, make sure it's a Craftsman, because you don't want to get stuck with anything else.
Stephen Howard, a freshman from Dallas, 74% free throw shooter, hitting on the first. So we'll get the second. Both clubs in the 1-1. 3-point DePaul lead. 2:12 remaining in the game. Very smooth-looking stroke by Howard.
Yeah, he's a high post center. That's what puts such great pressure on the defense. You've got to play him all the way to the top of the key, and he also passes well underneath.
Sweet being played by Booth and having trouble with Booth. Singleton. This is Jackson. Good play by Booth. And it will be Notre Dame ball.
Well, there are two seniors on the floor right now. They're both playing for DePaul. And this is where they're supposed to pick you up and carry you. After the great start, DePaul has just gone cold.
There's one of them. Well, Booth got a piece of it. Green for Lundy. The two seniors combined, so Lundy is now 10 for 10. Jackson from 3. And last touch by DePaul. Stanley Lundy, 8 for 8 in the first half. Notre Dame effectively kept the ball away from him. He's taken only 2 shots here. In the second half, he has hit both. He has 20 points, and DePaul leads by 6, 70-64. Minute and a half left in the game. Notre Dame just did get it in. Singleton off the head fake. Jackson, and he's fouled. Here, Jackson, an 84% free throw shooter, will go to the line.
The Notre Dame guards keep slashing in there, and all 10 people are inside the broken circle. There's really no place to go. They got to pick it up and hit that little J. But it has rewarded them with lots of free throws, which they didn't get in the first half.
And the 10 turnovers committed by DePaul, a major contributor to the turnaround by Notre Dame in the second half.
And the irony to that stat, Marv, is that they got those 10 turnovers playing much slower in a half-court game, whereas they only had 3 in the first half when they were running.
Digger Phelps told me before the game that he had some thoughts of bringing Joe Frederick here despite the sprained ankle, but he said earlier in his career he made the mistake with Orlando Woolridge. 2 occasions he forced the issue, and he brought him along and he played him when he wasn't right physically, and it hurt down the road, so he felt leave Frederick at home and have him rest for the NCAA and go with the freshmen in the backcourt, and they have done well. Notre Dame now down by 4, 70-66. The time running down. A minute 10 left in the game. It will be a DePaul ball. Ball kicked out of bounds.
The Irish was effective, and they're really packed in, switching man for man. But the clock now dictates they've got to come out, and this could turn DePaul up a notch. This is the kind of defense they like. It makes them play fast.
Off the kicking violation, DePaul gets the new 45 on the shot clock. And the foul on Robinson. That is his 4th. Thanks to our producer today, Ken Edmondson. Director, Bucky Guntz. The timeout situation. The crowd here at the Rosemont Horizon, 17,651. That is an all-time record. And this, the 9th year of this building. Largest crowd ever. And the first sellout of the season for DePaul. Howard continues to hit his free throws. 3 for 3, and he's done it within the 2-minute mark.
Grundy's the guy they want to foul, and he's not likely to get a pass unless it's up over the rim in the square.
71-66, just under 1 minute left in the game. Big bucket for Damon Sweet. It is down to a 3-point lead. 45 seconds left. And Foster able to clear center court.
Notre Dame has to be pleased with the way their freshmen have played today. Has to be. They were buried early, fought their way back.
Ellis on the foul is fourth. David Booth, the 73% free throw shooter. As you mentioned, Brundy is the poorest DePaul foul shooter, 48%. He's 0 for 3 today. They have Howard in there. He's 74%, and he's hit 3 out of 4. Green is only 65.
Foster's only 55 who's on the floor. So if DePaul gets benevolent, watch the Irish. They've been down before and come back.
Here's Sweet. And Booth rebounds.
There's the high school forward in there. That was no ordinary guard rebound. Booth really went up strong. Big time board when they had to have it.
Down to 23 seconds. Foul committed by LaFonso Ellis. So he's fouled out. Leaves with 10.
Sweet, who just delivered from there a moment ago, gets iron on this one. On the other side, David Booth, the 6'7" freshman who's really been accorded the perimeter player honors, showed why he can also go in there and get the job done with a clutch board. Ellis out of the game, got a charitable hand. He gave him a good day.
Another opportunity for Notre Dame. 20 seconds remaining. They go for the 2. Robinson, so that cuts it down to 1 with 12 seconds remaining. Digger saving the timeout to stop the clock right here. That's their final timeout. 12 seconds left. We'll be right back.
Go ahead, Marcy. It's easy.
But, sir, I can't ski! Are they practicing for the Olympic separatish slalom? No. MetLife will do almost anything to make sure customer claims are paid promptly. Get Met. It pays.
Digger Phelps mapping it out as Notre Dame will go for the quick foul. It remains to be seen how choosy they can be. But with 12 seconds remaining, Paul with a 1-point lead, 71-70.
Digger knows where he wants to foul. He just doesn't know if they're going to get the ball. Brundy is not going to handle it. You better believe that.
And we sweep around the scoreboard. Final Florida over Tennessee, 76-71. North Carolina walloping Maryland. Maryland coming off the upset win over North Carolina State yesterday. DePaul having trouble getting in. Price couldn't find anyone. They have 1 timeout remaining now.
Well, the rule very clearly says if you get to a 4 count, you can't give the timeout. And he was dangerously close to eating that ball and giving Notre Dame the ball on the baseline, down 1, 12 seconds to go under their offensive basket. I think DePaul needs to give some screens. Out on the floor now, Joey Meyer listening to Terrence Green, who's trying to coach the coach as to how they can get that ball in bounds. But it's not quite that simple. Joey Meyer not only has to get the ball in bounds, he has to get it in the hands of a good free throw shooter, and that's not the easiest thing when your total team is only 63%.
5-point men, Terrence Green leading DePaul with 21. Stanley Lundy with 20 points. And the AA most valuable players of the game are Stanley Lundy of DePaul. He hit 10 for 10 for his 20 points. And Damon Sweet, the freshman from Beaumont, came off the bench to hit for 16 points. A major factor in the Irish drive throughout the day, particularly with Joe Frederick sitting it out with that sprained ankle. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and also to assist those in financial need. Again, Price will attempt to throw in.
Even though it's after a timeout, it's after a basket, and he can run the baseline. Look for some screens. Booth is going to come to the ball. Good shooter. Howard is going to come to the ball. Good shooter. Notre Dame's going to try to make 1 steal, and then they're going to foul immediately.
Hamby checking in. They want some height off the possible reception of the inbounds pass. However, Hamby's a 60%. Wow. Free throw shooter at 15 for 25, but they'd rather get it inbounds and then move the ball down court.
Hamby can set a better pick. His size should free Booth. There it is.
And the foul is called. That'll put Howard on the line. That's the man Joey Meyer wanted to be fouled. Jameer Jackson picks it up. Stephen Howard, a 74% shooter. He has hit 3 of 4 from the line.
Yeah, but the element of risk there was Stephen Howard is not a good ball handler, and he got that inbounds pass, and in a little bit of panic, he left the floor. Had he not been fouled, he would have walked.
The Nestle Invitational following Notre Dame and DePaul, and tomorrow starting at 1. That's 1 o'clock Eastern Time, the ACC Final.
DePaul does have 1 timeout left. Notre Dame with none. I'm amazed that anybody's on that line for DePaul.
1-1. So it is DePaul by 2, 72-70.
There's some guys on that Irish team that can shoot for 3. If he gets this one, it's still tiable.
Elmer Bennett has hit 2 from downtown. Notre Dame does not have a timeout. They're down by 3. There's the clock running down. They're looking for the 3. Here it is. And that will do it. Jameer Jackson, who hit 2 3-pointers earlier, way off the mark, and that could mean an NCAA bid for the Blue Demons of DePaul, as they have defeated Notre Dame to get a split on the season series. They're 20-11. They've won 10 of the last 12. Notre Dame drops to 20-8, but it appears they are headed to the NCAA. So, a comeback bid off an 18-4 run by Notre Dame in the second half. Stanley Lundy, 10 for 10 from the floor, had 20. Terrence Green with 21 points, 16 for Damon Sweet, 15 for Elmer Bennett. Marv Albert, along with Bucky Waters, saying so long from the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago.
Some men fight for glory, others fight